Good afternoon everyone, please be seated for the latest development from the Tank Research Department. Today we will be talking about the Russian Kv-1 tank that we captured a while back. Research was able to come up with some modifications that should help us win future fights, so let's get straight to business. We will be comparing our superior improvements with the Kv-1 design and to the Churchill one that seems to be so popular with the British. As says here, all tanks will be in their stock loadout. We were able to bring the hit points up from 590 to 650. This puts the tank on par with the Churchill. The weight has gone up, which research has assured us this will not affect the speed of the tank, which remains the same, as the Russian at 34 kilometers per hour forward and 10 in reverse. But for those of you who are identifying as American, 21 miles per hour forward and 6 miles an hour backwards. Seriously, winter just started and you're already switching sides. Going forward, we are faster than the Churchill's 26 kilometers per hour, but sadly the Churchill can reverse faster at a speed of 14 kilometers per hour. The tanks will have the standard 5-man crew, which we do find to be a nice balance, and would you believe the British are giving their tank a second loader. The camo rating is better than the other two tanks at 0.15 stationary and 0.08 moving, but it's definitely not the best on the battlefield, which makes sense since you will be driving a 48-ton pile of metal and explosives. So don't be surprised when the artillery starts shelling you. On the bright side, the V5 engine provides 600 horsepower, which is double of what the Churchill is bringing to the battlefield, and has a 15% chance of catching fire, which is lower than the other two tanks we are comparing to. Now for the fun part, the gun. Your main armament will be a 57mm Project 413, which outshines the Russian Kv-1 and the British Churchill in most categories. The gun can fire 62 well, they got it wrong on the piece of paper here, but I will correct it. It is 26 rounds per minute, not 62. Please make sure you correct that in your pamphlets if you have one. So, 26 rounds with no modifications. Sadly, the British can shoot 37 in the same amount of time, but a minor issue with the gun is the aiming sights take longer to calibrate than it does to reload, so if they continue to fire as fast as they can reload, their accuracy slowly goes down over time. The problem is not an issue on our tank. The aim time and reload time both are 2.3 seconds. The accuracy is very good at 0.34. For those of you that needs a refresher, that means when your gun sights are set to 100 meters, your aiming circle is going to be around 0.3 of a meter, so about a third of a meter, give or take a little bit. The cannon has been put through a variety of tests and can shoot accurately up to 720 meters, which is about the same across the board. We have come to the conclusion that all ammo types are better than what the Russians and British guns are using. Using standard ammunition, we find that the penetration to be 84mm to 140mm, with 112 being the average. The damage is between 64 hit points and 106 hit points, with 85 being the average for that. So we do all the calculations with the data that we have, and you should have a damage ratio around 2,218 hit points, with your lowest being 1,664 hit points and your highest topping off at 2,772 hit points. Oh, and I almost forgot to mention the traverse speed for the hull is 20 degrees a second, which is the same as the Churchill. And while we are on the topic of traverse speeds, the engineers said even after installing a new turret ring and greasing the heck out of it, they could not get it to move faster. So the turret rotation remained the same as the Russian design at 24 degrees a second, which is typically slow for a tank. This is to be believed an effect of the turret armor they added. The tank had 90mm front and 75mm side and rear. After some modifications, now the turret armor is 110mm around the whole turret, which is now more than the Churchill. The hull armor has remained the same at 75mm to the front and sides and 70 at the rear. The elevation arc of the tank had suffered. The cannon has 7 degrees depression and 25 degrees elevation. The view range test shows the crew can see up to 310 meters, which isn't a lot. The new radio has, though, increased the signal strength, so you can communicate with friendly tanks up to 440 meters. So, let's summarize this up. The captured Kv-1 tanks have more turret armor than normal, so try to keep your hull hidden. City Rebel will help since the gun depression is terrible. Although it does not have a large caliber gun, the high rate of fire makes up for it. Because of this, it is recommended you try to carry around 50 of the APC-R ammunition. Also be aware that premium ammo does the same amount of damage as the standard shells, so learn to identify your targets. Standard ammunition costs about 50 credits, while the premium is almost 3,000. The medium gun rammer and the enhanced gun laying drive go quite nicely together, taking your small load aim time and making it even smaller. And anything to help the view range is also recommended. We will let you choose from the two options that are available to you. That is it. The class is dismissed. If you enjoyed yourself or not, please hit the corresponding buttons. Your comments are always appreciated, and please subscribe to be notified when the next class is available. Other than that, I hope you have a wonderful day.